All right, peace, peace, and great grand rising. It's your brother Yosef. Great grand evening, great grand night to you. It's your brother Yosef, also known as Chief Nawadiyawi, and I'm back with another video. So, hope everyone's been having a good day. In this video here, family, I want to talk about a group of extraterrestrials who started the whole vampire lore. Okay? Once again, I'm going to say it again. A group of extraterrestrials who started the vampire lore. And we're going to get into that in this video, family. So if you ever want to know where vampires really come from, pay attention to this video. All right. So the name of this group, I'll have to update it on this video because I'm not home right now. I have it written down somewhere at home. Their name is really long, and if you look at it, it's not going to make sense to you. But if you take the name itself and type it into YouTube and stuff, you'll see satanic rock bands and different people actually, worshiping these group of entities. Okay, so when you're dealing with Satanism, I talked about it before, family, how Satan is an extraterrestrial. I made that very clear way back in like 2019 when I did the video Lucifer, Satan, and Devil. I said Satan was an extraterrestrial, Lucifer is an ultra-terrestrial, Satan is an extraterrestrial, and the devil is your ego. The devil could be anybody because Satan can control your ego. It can influence your ego, right? It can influence your humanity. So when we talk about Satan, family, it's not a person, it's more of a title. Think of Satanism as a gang, right? Real Satanism. I'm not talking about anti-LaVey, Church of Satan stuff. That's kind of tied to it, but that's weak. We talking about real deal, get down and dirty Satanism. You know, killing people, blood sacrifices. This is real deal Satanism, right? Believe it or not, the anti-LaVey stuff is light. That's really like religion, if you really read it and understand it. But people scared of that. So Satanism, family, is made up of 3 extraterrestrial groups. 2 of them I talked about, but I never talked about the 3rd group that is made up of. The 2 were, you got some Anunnakis in there, right, that turned against Enki. You also have some Draconians, but you also have another group, and we're going to call this group the Dark Race because their name is hard to pronounce, and this is a name that the governments give them. But they are a very powerful, very ancient race that have a lot of technology, but they look like monsters. They look like monsters, family. And what happened was thousands of years ago when the Anunnaki really put their stamp on Samaria, and the Anunnaki started to be worshipped as gods, and their children were started to be worshipped as god kings, right? In Babylonia, Samaria, you know, and then a lot of the Anunnakis left. Well, during that time, family, you had a group of entities that also came to the planet as the Anunnaki started to leave. And these dark terrestrials, or not dark terrestrials, but this dark race, let's call them, this dark race that came down, they saw that immediately that there were big dogs here. And what I mean by that is there are people in the universe that they knew that were more powerful than them. So they knew they had to tread softly. So they started to politic immediately. And, you know, they wanted to get in on what was going on down here, right? But they also wanted to make a deal with these groups because they ran the planet to feed on the people. Right, because these extraterrestrials are bloodsuckers. They're bloodsuckers, not just bloodsuckers, but they were also they can also drain you psychically, so they can psychically drain your energy. They can control you with their mind, right? So they're very dangerous, right? So they can drain you in different ways. So they can drain your literal life force from you, on a psychic level. They can psychic attack you. They can control you with their mind. They can also drain your blood, which is what they prefer. And they will actually eat any extraterrestrial. They will drain blood from any extraterrestrial. But on this planet, they love the blood of humans. Love it, family. And when they drink the blood of humans, that's actually how they eat. And it's another group of extraterrestrials that I talked about that eat humans, but they eat them in different ways. They make soup out of us in some ways. But this group here literally grabs you and sucks your blood, right? Sucks you dry. That's what they do, right? And in their true state, they look like monsters. So this group went over they couldn't really survive in the heat like that. So they went to go live in what people call Transylvania, the mountains, the European mountains. They went up there and made their stronghold in the mountains up there, right? And right now they're mostly around there. They're in different parts of the planet now, but back then that's where they were. So this is where you get the whole lore of Dracula and Transylvania and the castles. And so as history went on, these entities always made themselves known to the most powerful people on the planet, not just the extraterrestrials, but the kings and the queens, right? So at one point, Egypt knew about them. right? The Europeans, when they started to take over, they knew about this group in the northern part of the world. And this group, they were actually given power to work with the Draconians and the Anunnaki. So what happened, family, and I'm gonna give you guys the story. What happened, family, was they also, part of their deal with them was to help them pursue and go about, the plans that they had. But also a part of the deal was to be able to abduct humans at will and use humans to feed on humans. So what this group did was they actually took some of the humans from all over the planet, Africa, Europe, Asia, and they actually started to make like children. They started to make hybrids. And the hybrids they created is where you get the so-called story of the Dracula and the vampires, right? These people look like humans, but their eyes tend to be weird looking, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times they wear glasses. They don't really like to be in the sunlight. The sunlight doesn't really burn these entities. That's something that's made up in the movies. It doesn't really burn them, but it can harm them over time if they expose to the sunlight too much. And it doesn't matter if it's black vampires or white vampires, Chinese vampire, it doesn't matter. They can be in sunlight, but they can't be in it that much. It's only so much sunlight they can absorb during the day. So that's what that is, family. So they started to genetically modify humans and mix their DNA in with humans, and they created a hybrid, which is what you have today as the vampires, right? And the vampire families are connected to these entities, and these entities at the hierarchy, they kind of rule over. So if you guys go back and watch the TV show or the movie Underworld, where the Lycans, the vampires would fight the werewolves, right? And if you look at the vampires, the ancient ones, they look like monsters. They don't look like the regular vampires. And all the regular vampires can't transform into a monster like that. That's because you're dealing with an extraterrestrial. They call them a hybrid, but that's an extraterrestrial. Whenever you see the oldest version of something in the world and it looks like a monster, that's an extraterrestrial right there. Okay, that's an extraterrestrial. So in this group here, family, these entities were extraterrestrials who made hybrids of humans to do their bidding. And so sometimes even today, they're still around. You got to be careful who you sleep with and who you're around, because when people go missing, especially in big major cities, when they go missing, they feed these entities. They bring humans back, suck the blood, and then they have to use blood to survive also. So a lot of times you can be psychically attacked by a real vampire. Vampires are real, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And one time I had an astral projection experience where I think I told you guys a story where I was in South America, and I had no clue this was going on until I saw it myself. And I was in a hospital with a bunch of people. I don't know why my astral form was here. I just woke up here. So I'm flying around. People can't really see. So I was physically there. So I astral projected over there. And sometimes my body, I'll wake up and I'm just astral projected already somewhere else. I don't know why. My spirit does different things like that. Sometimes I could see myself leaving my body. Sometimes I'm already somewhere. Sometimes I'm on my roof. I'm outside my house. It's just different sometimes. But this time I didn't know I was in South America I was talking to this entity. But I'm over here and I'm in this hospital, and it's a lot of people that they were sick. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. They were really sick. And I don't know what was going on. So they in there getting, they stuff together, and all of a sudden, family, I seen this person who moved like the Flash. Like he grabbed this little girl who was playing with something, and her mom and her dad was looking the other way, and she got snatched. And all of a sudden I saw this door that was like swinging open. It was like a closet door, and I saw this man in there biting this girl's neck off. This girl had to be like maybe 8 or 9, right? Little Latino girl. And of course I'm like, what the hell? Like it was grotesque. Like, and I followed him and I wanted to do something, and I'm looking at him, and then he saw me. He was like, "You can see me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is this? And he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I can't help myself. This is who I am." And I'm like, "What are you, like a vampire or something?" He's like, "Yeah." So I already knew the science of vampires and what was going on, but I never thought they'd be in South America like that. So He was like, can you meet me outside? I said, well, man, you know, the girl is dead, bro. I'm not no heroes, nothing I can really do to you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I went outside, and within a matter of like 10 seconds, he was out there, face wiped off and everything. And he was like looking like a fiend, a crackhead or something. He was like moving around real fast. He was very hyperactive. And he was like, listen, man, you know, this is who we are. This is what we do. Who are you? Who you with? And I'm like, you know, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. He's like, listen, man, this is our stronghold now. We over here. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? We talked about some other things I want to say on video, but, you know, he told me these things, that now they're strongholds in South America very heavily, and they influence governments and all kind of stuff is what I was told. And like I said, he told me a bunch of other stuff, but their real stronghold family is still over in Europe, in those, in that whole area that's really Russia, all that's real heavy over there. But they have power that they influence the whole world with, because they're Satanists. Right? They're Satanists. So when you sign certain record deals, like Sony, I'm gonna be honest, Sony's a satanic record label. That's just a fact. And when you sign certain deals with certain record labels, you gotta understand there's satanic energy behind that. Not just the vampires, but there's also draconians, and the Anunnaki kind of don't really be up there. They the big dogs, you know, like that in the Bible. They say we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. And then they'll say you got principalities. You know what I'm saying? They talking about hierarchies, and some of these hierarchies don't even touch us. They just give orders, and that's more of the Anunnakis that work on the other side. It's only a few of them, to be honest with you. Very ancient, very powerful. Then you have some very ancient, very powerful draconians. And then these entities, they control certain aspects of the world, family. So any way that they can drain you, whether it's psychologically, sexually, you know, whether they can, and they love young people. So like if you 21 and under, they really like to drink the blood of younger people. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these kids that get snatched, they don't just go to slave trade or sex trade. They actually become food. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of these kids become food. And a lot of people too, don't get it twisted. They will snatch up a 50, 60-year-old person if they have to. But the blood of a younger person, they haven't eaten so many bad foods over time. Their blood is more pure. Their blood is more pure. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to understand, like, vampires are very real. And they could walk around. Be aware of a person that's always wearing glasses. You know what I'm saying? Even in the wintertime, they wearing glasses. They're in a store, they wearing glasses. They don't want you to see their eyes. Right? Beware of people that don't like to be in the sun too much. You know, they love the cold. And it doesn't matter. Vampires could be fat people, skinny people. They could be all different types of people, and they're very real, family. And they all come from a group of extraterrestrials. So vampires is what I'm saying, family. Vampires are really hybrids. They're really hybrids of a extraterrestrial race. And the vampires are the servants. They do the will and the bidding of the extraterrestrial race that sits behind the scenes, who in their true form and with their face, they look like they really have like two big teeth in the front and two big teeth on the bottom. And that's how they feed. But when they did the hybrids, they put the teeth on both sides of the mouth. So those are the vampire. And that's why you hear stuff about, when you hear stuff like this in the movies, where do you think they got it from? Somebody who's in these secret societies are letting information out. That's a fact. You know, it's like they talk about zombies, right? Zombies, that's a Haitian voodoo thing. Zombies can be very real, right? Zombies can be very real, and zombies were seen in history, right? There's Haitian voodoo priests that can wake a person up out of the dead and make that person do their bidding to this day. That's a fact. So that's kind of what a zombie is. And they got other names for it, but that's what it is, right? But a zombie could be a living person that's walking around and not using their brain. So what I'm saying, fam, is different levels to it. So you do have very ancient and very old regular vampires. But then you got the soldiers that go out here and they do the bidding and they have to answer to a hierarchy. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that the hierarchy of this hierarchy is extraterrestrials who literally live in the mountains in Europe, whether you want to call it Caucasus Mountains, the different Transylvania. They live in those areas. There's still castles over there in Transylvania. You can look it up on YouTube. They're still, and don't get it twisted. A lot of the Moors built those castles, and the Moors knew about them back in the day, right? They knew about the vampires. They know about extraterrestrials, right? But at the end of the day, family, these entities, they pretty much, so right now, the presidents of the world, and they all know about these groups, right? They just ain't saying nothing. But like I told you guys, if we get deeper into the fourth dimension, you're going to see what I've been saying since 2019 been true. When I've been telling y'all, we're going to interface with extraterrestrials as we get deeper into the fourth dimension. Telling y'all, we here now. So right now, family, your mind is going to be challenged. Your mind is going to be challenged. You got to have a strong mind. You need to start downloading books, audio books, or videos every day that you can listen to that's going to give you mental practice. It's time to get your mind right, family. Real talk, so you can be strong in 2022. Because as much as incredible, great things that's going to be happening with business, and great things are going to be happening, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be messed up mentally. Real talk. Because they're not going to be able to deal with the issues of the heart. It's going to drive them crazy, right? They'd rather take drugs and commit suicide and stuff like that. People ain't going to be able to deal with that type of stuff. So I want you guys to be mentally strong. What you think I've been doing? I'm not sitting here pretending like it can't affect me. I'm still doing my mental practice. I still deal with gratitude. I'm still grateful and thankful every day I wake up. I'm still doing that, family. Because I have to keep that stuff going. Right? I got to keep that stuff going, family. So I want you guys to definitely practice that. Because the more darkness is on this planet, the more these entities come out. Right? And you hear stories every day about people that's going missing, they vanishing, and nobody knows what happened. Well, the government helped these entities cover it up. That's all. You know? The government just helped these entities cover it up. Right? That's all. So that's who the real vampires are, family. I'm not home right now, so I can't pronounce the name. But when I get home, I'll update it on this video so you guys can have the name. I just wanted to do this video for you guys because somebody asked me about our vampires real. And I said, oh, I could talk about that race. That really is really where vampires come from. So I'm going to tell you guys a big secret. And we talk about monsters, like werewolves, vampires, they were always extraterrestrials first. That's right. There's extraterrestrials that look like cats, that look like tigers and lions and bears and shit like that. That's real. It's that people don't talk about them. And you're trained automatically to deny even though you believe in extraterrestrials, your brain is still fighting. It wants to deny it. And really all somebody gotta do is do a YouTube video and say, oh, look at that way his arm is moving, and it's not real, and your ego will go with it. So a lot of times when I put up UFO videos, I'm testing people. I do it on Instagram every now and then just to see what type of trolls gonna come on there. And sure enough, there's always one or two people, oh, look at the way it's moving, the lighting is off and not. But when you've really seen these things, you know. That's why I don't jump on every extraterrestrial video, because I've really seen UFOs. I don't jump on every UFO video. I've really seen UFOs. And I know when I'm looking at a real one. I've really seen elementals, and I know when I'm looking at a real one. Right? So a person can't tell me nothing. Right? But I do it just to sit back and laugh and have a good laugh to see what type of trolls gonna come out. Because they don't bother me. But I like to see, man, people so ignorant, man. To the point if real aliens popped up, they gonna try to make up something. People are messed up today, man. They don't want to have nothing better than what they have right now. Knowing good and well you're gonna die one day and you ain't gonna have your physical body. What are you gonna be then? You talk to these people, well, you're just not gonna exist. You know, you're just not gonna be here. Or they go back to religion. These people are crazy, man. People are crazy. They call me crazy. Like I always get Christians with this. I say, if you believe in a man coming back in the clouds standing up, but you won't believe that a flying saucer is real, and you see an airplane every day, which one make more sense? A man standing up in the clouds or a metal ship flying? Even if it ain't metal, a ship flying in the sky or a man standing up in the clouds. And I get them when they shut down every time. They shut down every time. Because they can't say nothing. Right? And then in the book of Enoch, they'll say, I see angels flying in their houses. In the book of Enoch. How does an angel fly in his house? It's a UFO. It's a UFO. And like I've said before, there are angels that look like gray aliens. They got gray alien faces. They're angels. There's angels that have the faces of insects. There's angels that's the size of 1 inch. They look like fairies. They're angels though. Right? So angels come in all shapes and sizes and colors and everything. That's real deal, family. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I kind of went off on another thing, but I just wanted to get in here and let you guys know about this group who I will reveal the name to. And like I said, when you look this name up, you'll see that there's groups that there's rock bands that actually pronounce the name, and they worship these entities, right? Because you know a lot of satanic, right? Satanic, when you study the satanic stuff, it always go back to vampirism. Anybody that really studies Satanism, it goes back to vampirism. But people think that to be on the dark side, you got to study Satanism. No, the dark side consists of all different types of sciences. You know, not just Satanism. Satanism is what the elite do, right? Palo Mayombe is dark. It can be. You got a light side and dark side of voodoo, right? So there's different aspects of dark side magic and dark side spirituality. You just can't tie it to Satanism. Satanism is what the elite do. Never forget that. It's based on extraterrestrial worship. And when you worship that, they suck your energy. That's what it is. And the forefront of the Satanism movement is really vampires. That's why even when you watch the vampire stuff, you'll see Satanism in it. And usually when you see a vampire movie and they got the satanic pentagram in there, that means somebody on that cast is really down with that shit. They're really down with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you see all this blood sacrifice and sacrificing people, that's all satanic worship right there. So and that goes back to vampirism, vampires. And I'm only talking because I've studied this stuff, so I know what I'm saying, family. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just want to get in here and talk to you guys about that. I do have a class I'm going to do for you guys dealing with sigils, dealing with how I actually do my sigils. I don't do my sigils in English. And I don't do them in Hebrew either. I have done them in Hebrew, but I have another style of sigils that I do, and I'm going to be showing you guys that in the class real soon, so you guys can upgrade your sigil game and get more power from your sigils, right? I'm going to be showing you guys that real soon, all right? Brother Yosef, love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Holler at you in the next one, family. Peace.